So the new thing I've learned today is that you are half Punjabi and half Bengali.
Yeah. So I can understand Bengali very well.
Bujhte pari, bolte pari na.
Yeah.
What about the part of Bombay where you grew up?
It was so quiet, so green. But today the atmosphere has become so bad.
Digging and decaying. That's really what's happening.
They dig, they make and dig.
All your movies, as a producer, start with the letter K. What's up with K? Which of those 4 or 5 films that you say, yaar, those movies were good? Either the making of them or the watching of it. I think of Sun and Sand Hotel in Juhu as the epicenter of Bollywood in the 70s, 80s. Did you have a room there?
I couldn't afford.
Mortgage your house, you mortgage your car.
Kaho Naa Pyaar Hai. I dreamt of those locations. Then I flew all over the world.
Did you dream the sports car as well?
Yes, everything. You know. I wanted to fulfill my dream as a filmmaker.
And then we saw what happened.
Yeah.
When you became an actor, Rakesh ji, and your co-stars would be the Rajesh Khannas of the world, Sanjeev Kumars of the world. It wasn't even called Bollywood then. What was that Bombay cinema like?
Hello, I'm Rakesh Roshan here, and you are watching me on Midday.
Hello and welcome to the Bombay Film Story. My name is Mayank Shekhar. This is a unique podcast that looks at Bombay as a city and films as an industry through the lens of someone who's important to both. That is, Bombay as in Mumbai, films as in movies. With me is one of India's most commercially successful directors, son of one of India's most loved music composers, father of one of India's biggest movie stars, Rakesh Roshan, also a former actor, top Bollywood producer. Thank you so much, Rakesh ji, for joining us.
Thank you, Mike.
I have to say the reason why I introduced you, with regard to your son and your father, is because of the documentary The Roshans. And it's incredible, so fascinating that it looks at your family, it looks at films. It made me learn so many new things. To start with the fact that you are Rakesh Roshan Nagarat. I did not know that. Yeah. It's a bit like Amitabh Bachchan, right? In the sense that Amitabh Bachchan is not a last name. It was his father's pen name. He's Amitabh Srivastav. I don't think there are other Roshans either, right? This is an adopted surname. Did it happen when you were born or it happened over time?
It happened later on when my father passed away. I was 17 and I started working as an assistant director. So I used to go to this building called Nas building.
Yes.
Where all the offices were there, all the producers' offices.
This is in town.
Right. In Mahalakshmi. So whenever I used to go and meet some producers, to ask for work as an actor, so few used to ask me, "कौन है आप?" मतलब बोलना राकेश हैं, रोशन जी के बेटे आए हैं मिलने के लिए. So I was called immediately inside the cabin, and the producers, big producers, they would stand up and meet me. So that's the respect what my father left and went. So I said, why not I put my surname as Roshan?
Right. So your name and passport would be Rakesh Nagarat?
Nagarat, but now it has changed to Roshan.
Oh, now you've changed it officially.
So now everything is Roshan only.
Right.
So I even also signed my signatures on banks and all that as Rakesh Nagarat. But then I changed it.
At some point.
Yeah.
So what about your mom, Rakesh ji? She was Ira, what was her maiden name?
She was Bengali. She was Ira Moitra.
Ah, interesting.
And she was a singer in All India Radio. And my father used to play Sarod and Jal Tarang. And that's where they met.
So the new thing I've learned today is that you are half Punjabi and half Bengali.
Yeah.
And is there a strong Bengali side to you in the sense, can you speak the language?
No, not much because, at home, mostly my father and mother, they spoke in Hindi.
Okay.
Only when I used to go to my mother's family side to Delhi to stay there as a kid for a holiday. So some Bengali I picked up from there. So I can understand Bengali very well, but I can speak.
Bujhte pari, bolte pari na.
Yeah. How you know?
I mean, Ray movies actually,
Okay.
Satyajit Ray movies, and I was in Calcutta when I was a little child. Which part of Delhi was this? Where your mom's side? Which part of Delhi did they live in?
I think it was Patel Nagar.
Okay, right. And what about the part of Bombay where you grew up, Rakesh ji, in the sense that, we see some of that in the documentary. I mean, this is where your father is, Shailendra is his neighbor. This would be in the 50s. Take us to that time. Which part of the city were you in growing up?
I was born in Bombay, I was born in a garage
Okay.
of a big music director at that time, Hussain Lal Bhagat Ram. And when my father came to Bombay from Delhi, he stayed in their garage. So in 1949, I was born in a garage over there. And from there, then when he started getting work, we shifted to Santa Cruz,
Okay.
Linking Road. So the balcony, what you see is that Santa Cruz Linking Road, where Shailendraji used to walk. That was Linking Road. So my childhood was mostly there. There was a school, Sacred Heart Boys High School. I studied over there, but then I used to bunk school and to go and see movies. So my father put me into a boarding school. So I did my schooling in
Satara.
Satara.
Right. So would you come back often enough from boarding school? And
Yes, on holidays I used to come back, and then because I used to come back for a month or 10 days or 15 days, I was pampered a lot.
So what was that Santa Cruz like? It would have been very different from, you can't be walking around and singing to each other in this Santa Cruz of the Bombay that we live in now, right? Linking Road is a crazy street.
Those days were different days. It was unbelievable that it was so quiet, so green. Even from Khar or Santa Cruz where we stayed, if you had to go to town to meet somebody, it used to take us just 15 minutes. But today the atmosphere has become so bad. Every day they're digging, and what they are doing, there is no planning. I don't know. It looks as if we're staying in a claustrophobic atmosphere.
Digging and decaying. That's really what's happening.
They make and dig. I don't know what. There's no planning or something. I don't know.
But talking about, happier things, this is the 50s we're talking about. And then thereafter, of course, you became an assistant director, became an actor as well. What was that world like? This is when you became an actor, Rakesh ji, and, your co-stars would be the Rajesh Khannas of the world, Sanjeev Kumars of the world. What was that? It wasn't even called Bollywood then. What was that Bombay cinema like?
See, it was great, because we were all worked as a family. We used to, after the shooting used to get over, we used to meet in the evenings, every day.
Every day?
In outdoors.
Right.
Even in Bombay, like I and Rishi Kapoor and Jitendra were very good friends. So we used to meet practically every day. But in outdoors also, if we have shooting with Rajesh Khanna or Sanjeev Kumar, so everybody, we used to meet in the evenings and spend the evenings together, have dinner together.
There wasn't the paparazzi culture.
There's not a paparazzi culture.
But was there stardom though? Like you could feel that, Abhi Rajesh Khanna ghuse hai. I mean, that was real, right? I mean...
Yes, I'll tell you an instance of Rajesh Khanna, very interesting. I was shooting for a film called with Rajesh Khanna. Bhapi Soni was the producer director. So we were shooting at Bhakra Nangal Dam. So Rajesh Khanna craze was humongous, absolutely. So I and Rajesh Khanna, we both got on at Delhi airport, and he was crowded by people surrounding him. And in that chaos, the unit people forgot to take me. They went away. They left me behind.
In the airport?
At the airport.
Right.
And I didn't know what to do because there was no mobile phones at that time.
Right.
So I didn't know what to do. Should I go back or should I stay here?
And this is the Delhi airport?
Delhi airport.
And where were you supposed to go?
To Bhakra Nangal Dam.
So I guess Chandigarh would be the airport you would take. Yeah.
So Chandigarh also, उस वक्त flight नहीं थी. Chalta Furza was the name of the film. After 3 hours, I was waiting on set. They came back and said, "We are very sorry. ये सब chaos में हम भूल गए आपको ले जाने के लिए." ऐसा था माहौल.
But यहाँ नहीं था. Bombay में था इतना ही. Like you could say a Sanjeev Kumar just walk around on Linking Road or was
even Bombay, but not that much.
Right.
Outside Bombay was.
And of course, your friendship with Jitendra and late Rishi Kapoor is legendary, right? I mean, we've seen like 1,000 images of you partying together, etc. How did that happen? Like,
it just happened that I and Rishi were working in Khel Khel mein, and on the very first day we had a rapport.
We hit it off.
Yeah, we hit it off, and I think we both had the same habits.
You're good drinkers, both of you.
Drinkers and enjoy life. And,
right.
Then met Jitendra. I worked with him in some film, and then we became friends. And then, our friendship remained very strong because I though they were very big actors at that time, Rishi Kapoor and Jitendra, I was not, I was just, but I never asked them to give me work from any producer. They could have told any producer that Kabir Rakesh Roshan will let his picture ke liye. But I never asked them. And that's why our friendship was very, very strong. And we never spoke about films when we met. We used to talk about other things.
Where did you guys hang out? Sun and Sand?
No, mostly at Jitendra's house.
Okay.
Or Rishi Kapoor's house. Or my house, anywhere.
Right. I don't know why I think of Sun and Sand Hotel in Juhu as the epicenter of Bollywood in the 70s, 80s, even leading up to the 90s, right? I think Rajinikanth had a place there, Devanand had a house there, a room there, Rajkumar had a room there. Yeah. Was that true? Was that really the...
Yes, it was. That was the only hotel over there that time. Holiday Inn and Sun and Sand. The Sun and Sand was very, very popular. And so all parties and my engagement was there in Sun and Sand.
Did you have a room there?
No, I didn't.
You didn't have a permanent room there? No.
I couldn't afford.
It's interesting you say this, that, these were big actors, but I wasn't. And you say that in the Roshans as well. In the sense that I guess, you feel like as if you think of yourself as a lesser actor, which is not true. Because you did 94 films. That's a massive filmography of its own, Rakesh ji. For those who are much younger and watching this and may not have watched a film, if you were to look back at those years and think of 5 or 6 films, because again, here you were not the director, so you can also see the film for its own worth. Which of those 4 or 5 films that you say, yaar, those movies were good? Whether or not they did huge things for you personally, but you enjoyed those films, either the making of them or the watching of it.
I enjoyed working in every film. The only thing was that, those films never took me ahead. Other actors who used to work with me, they used to move ahead. But I never moved ahead. I was appreciated a lot in Khel Khel Mein. I was appreciated a lot in Khoobsurat. I was appreciated a lot in Khatta Meetha. So there are many films, Dhanwan, and then Aankhon Aankhon Mein, and then many films. But all these 94 films you're saying,
according to IMDb,
out of which I think 70 films I must have got because of my phone calls to them. Okay, please take me. So it was, I couldn't reach where I wanted to.
Where work would come to you.
Yeah,
you have to constantly seek work.
So then I thought that I call up the producers, why don't I become a producer myself?
Yeah. It's interesting, Rakesh ji, if we look at the top Bollywood stars of our times right now, current ones, and who've been current because they've been current for many, many decades now. Like say Amitabh Bachchan. Amitabh Bachchan, if I'm not mistaken, his mother was an actor. She used to do stage at some point. Shah Rukh Khan, if I'm not mistaken, his father auditioned for Mughal-e-Azam. There is Salman Khan, whose father wanted to be a movie star and then became a screenwriter. Similar situation as yours in a certain way, if you were to see it that way. Amir Khan, father was, wanted to be a bigger producer. He became a huge producer. Do you think that it takes one generation, what they want to achieve, to pass on their dream to the next generation, and they work even harder to get there? Do you think there's some truth in that theory of mine?
Maybe, because we see their struggles as children. And then we have to put our best foot forward to accomplish their dreams. So there must be something subconsciously that we have to prove ourselves. For me, when my father expired, I was 17, so my father didn't have a factory that I could, carry on with the factory. It was a dark tunnel for me. I didn't know what to do.
Did you have music in your gene the way your brother Rakesh Roshan did?
No, maybe I have, but I never tapped that.
Do you sing sometimes?
I don't sing, but I have got a good ear for music.
That we know from the soundtracks that you've produced.
But then it was a dark tunnel for me. I didn't know where am I going to go. But then I kept working. I worked as an assistant and as an actor, and then changed my. I wanted to stay as an actor. I wanted to be in front of the people. I wanted to be in front of the producers. So I did different roles. And hero नहीं चला तो मैंने side roles कर लिया. Side roles नहीं चले तो मैंने फिर villains का role कर लिए. So I wanted
just to be around.
Yeah, I wanted to be around. Where most of the contemporary actors of mine on those days, they didn't do it. They were hero, हम hero के role करेंगे. I didn't have that attitude.
And you also didn't have a choice.
Huh?
You also didn't have a
I
choice.
have a choice also. So I kept going. You know, I kept moving ahead, slowly, and the journey I was walking on, I saw some light somewhere, and then I became a producer, and that light showed me some other path, and I became a director.
You know, you become a producer, of course, you star in it as an actor in the films that you produced as well, and then you become a director. My question to you is very simple, and I don't know why nobody's asked you this. All your movies as a producer start with the letter K, right? And your father-in-law, J. Om Prakash, all his films start with the letter A. What's the fascination? Well, firstly, what was the fascination with the letter K? But then you pass it on to Karan Johar. All his movies started with K. You passed it on to Ekta Kapoor. All of her serials started with K. What's up with K?
One fan when I was making Jagut Hansan after Kamchor, some fan wrote to me that we should make films with K. All your films with K has done very well.
Like all your films as an actor?
Yeah, as an actor.
Interesting.
Like Kamchor, Khubsurat, Khatta Meetha, and Khandan, and
Khel Khel mein.
Khel Khel mein. So मैंने बोला ऐसे ही होगा कुछ. So I forgot about
It was just a fan mail.
Yeah. So
Not from astrologer or
no.
or numerologist.
Just a fan
Right.
wrote to me. That was we used to get fan letters.
Right.
I made Khudgars, not thinking that I had to keep a name from K because it suited that film. The film did very well. That fan again wrote to me and he said, "आपने अभी रखा K से देखिए आपकी ये पिक्चर भी चल गई." But then I said the नाम तो रखना ही है पिक्चर का. So why not with K? So I started with K.
And literally, you've had no commercial debacle as a director, and all of them have been with Ks, right?
Yes, by God's grace, yes.
Rakesh, if you don't mind me saying this, but if you did not name them with K, all your films as a director, you could just name them all Badla. हर पिक्चर का नाम बदला रखते हैं because you know what is fascinating about your work according to me is how you can take that one idea and make films that are so different from each other while the core idea remains the same. There's a first half, there's a second half. There's a person who is wronged. That person can return in the second half as that person himself or a reincarnation or, with plastic surgery, etc., etc. But then takes revenge and the audience feels like, higher. A poetic justice mili. Is there a conscious choice that you made as a filmmaker ki mujhe ye kahani banani hai? But of course, each film is different. Yeah. I'm not saying they can be compared with each other on any other front.
It's not like that. I think from the age of 9 or 10, I started seeing movies and I saw a lot of movies, hit movies and flop films. I used to see all movies. So somewhere a common man's feeling has come in me. It's in my bloodstream, I think. So my story is always of a common man, and then how he wins in the end.
Something that the common man cannot do in real life.
So that's the escape. So when they come and see the movie, they identify themselves, and with the actors who's playing that character. So somewhere, and maybe my failure also, and then my success story. So maybe somewhere something is there which connects, but it's not consciously that I'm doing that.
And when you're saying you were watching these films, Rakeshji, where were you watching them? Satara is where you would be watching films as well?
No. Satara was a military school, so they were very strict.
You didn't bunk there?
I bunked there for 4 days. First 4 days. Then I was caught. But in Bombay and in college days, till today, I keep watching films.
You watch every new release, even now?
Every day.
Every Friday?
Every Friday.
Where does one spot you?
I have a home theatre.
Now of course there's home theatres.
Outhouse, so every Friday.
In that amazing farmhouse of yours that we see in the Roshans? Yes. Where is that farmhouse?
It's in Khandala.
Oh wow, it's stunning, I have to say. Coming back to Badla and your first film as director, that's Khudgars. And again, it's about the revenge of a friend who feels wronged. And then turns out that, he takes him on eventually. Now, that seemed to me like a very personal story. Is it a personal story? Did you ever feel wronged by a friend?
No. Actually, that story was inspired from, people say from Cain and
Cain and
Abel.
Abel is what people
It
say,
is
yes.
not Cain and Abel. I was inspired from Namak Haram.
Ah,
Namak Haram had the same story as Khudgar's had. But nobody went that way. Everybody said, no, we are very learned. So they started saying about Cain and Abel. But exactly it was, all the characters, everything was the same as Namak Haram. Only
How
the story, I
amazing.
expanded the story a bit.
How amazing. And then you go on to make Khoon Bari Maang, which of course is iconic even now. And, it's referred to. If I see a crocodile, I think of Khoon Bari Maang. That, of course, there was a television show, the Australian TV series, which you sort of adapted from as well. What I found surprising is, for its time, was you had Kabir Bedi in that film, which would not be the obvious casting choice because Kabir Bedi had left India years ago, right? Rakesh, he used to live in LA at the time, and you seeked him out, you called him up from wherever he was. What made you have Kabir Bedi of all the people in Khoon Bari Maang?
You see, I always felt that casting plays a very big part. And if you have the right casting, 50% of your battle is won. We had really good actors here too. I didn't want to take a face where they have done a villain's role.
Right.
And if I
And
go
then you
to-
know already in the beginning कि the villain ही
the
होगा.
villain नहीं होने वाला है.
Right.
So then I thought of Kabir Bedi. Then I called, because I worked with him in my first or second film, Seema.
Ah.
Kabir Bedi and Simi Garewal was there. So I rang up Kabir and I asked him that I've got a story and I would like to work. He said, we send me the script. I sent the script to him and he read it and he said, okay.
Right. So, there's another interesting thing about Khudgars and it comes twice in the documentary series, Rakeshji, that with Khudgars and also thereafter with Kaho Naa Pyaar Hai. Here you are as a person who's kind of achieved enough and raised a family, done well for yourself in that sense. But you go ahead and you mortgage your house, you mortgage your car. Now it seems like a success story, it's all good, but you could lose everything, right?
Yes.
What would make you do such a thing? And what was the movie industry like that you had to do? So I don't think people mortgage houses and cars anymore, right? In Bollywood?
No. In those days, what used to happen is that, like Kaho Naa Pyaar Hai. I wanted to make a romantic film because I never made a romantic film. So people thought I had no romance in me. I was not a romantic person. So I said, no, I'll make a romantic film. That romantic film, I thought I'll present it in a very different way, with beautiful locations. So I had some dreams in me. I dreamt of those locations. Then I flew all over the world, around the world, to see those. Why did I dream of such locations? Where are these locations? There has to be somewhere. So then I found Krabi Island, where rocks were there in the sea, blue water. So that was my dream. Then my dream was that a place like New Zealand, like Christchurch and
Green Waters.
Queenstown,
Right.
where I could shoot that song, Na Tum Jano Na Hum. So those are my dreams.
Did you dream the sports car as well?
Yes, everything. I wanted to fulfill my dream as a filmmaker. So I said, okay, let me take a chance, because such a subject I have, good subject. I've got good actors with me, Hrithik and Amisha. So I went ahead with that. And nobody knew about it. Hrithik never knew. I never told him. Only my wife knew about it. I said, I'm mortgaging the house. Maybe if I require, I will take money. Otherwise, I will try to manage. But it so happened that I managed it in the funds what I had. Had the film not done well, then I would have to, shift somewhere else. But I took that chance.
That's crazy. And you, if I'm not mistaken, the film that you had produced before that, Kaun Sacha Kaun Jhooda, hadn't done too well as a producer. Would that be correct? Would that be 97?
It was not produced by me.
Okay.
But they just put my name as Rakesh Roshan.
So there was no like a setback financially?
No. But a film like Kamchor, that song was very good. Tud Sang Preet Lagai. And everybody said there's Chandivali studio here, there is a hanging garden here. Why don't you shoot it over here? I said, no, I want to shoot that song in Uti or Kashmir. because the song is so beautiful. I need beautiful locations for that song. So I had mortgaged my car also then. आदत वहाँ से पड़ी एक्चुअली.
अरे बाप रे, कामचोर में भी आपने मॉर्गेज किया गाड़ी?
हाँ, कामचोर के लिए, वो एक गाने के लिए 2 लाख रुपये में मैंने अपनी मर्सिडीज गाड़ी थी वो मॉर्गेज करा दी. जहाँ के शूट करके आ गया, पिक्चर चल गई, पैसे वापस कर दे, बोले इजी काम है यार, अच्छी पिक्चर बनाएंगे तो हो जाएगा. तो कहो ना प्यार है में वो रिस्क ले लिया मैंने.
That is bizarre. That's a bizarre way to make films, Rakesh ji. That's crazy. And I don't think anyone understands the commerce of filmmaking as you do. The world changed around 2000-ish, if I'm not mistaken. There were corporate firms that came out, set up shop here in Bombay. But you continue to make films just the way you've been making movies. I mean, you still have those distributors you go to. You still take money from the distributors. Use that as is that correct?
Yes, that's correct. Till my last film, Kabil, I had my distributors who were with me from my first film, and they all believed in me. I had to just pick up a phone and tell them, okay, I'm starting this film. They should send me the signing amounts. And you will not believe I have not invested even 5,000 rupees in any of my films up till now.
What do you mean?
Always means कि होता ना कि पिक्चर शुरू कर रहे हैं, अपना पैसा लगा रहे हैं. मैंने 5,000 रुपये भी नहीं लगाया आज तक किसी पिक्चर में.
नहीं तो मॉर्गेज तो करें ना आप घर और गाड़ी
वो
को.
तो बात की बात.
हाँ. That is during the course of making
during
the
the
film.
course of the film. Like,
Right.
Because
You're going up over budget.
You are going over budget. You are fulfilling your dreams.
Right.
But to start a film
And where are these distributors? They're all based across the country, Rakesh
across
ji?
the country, पंजाब के डिस्ट्रीब्यूटर हैं, दिल्ली यूपी के डिस्ट्रीब्यूटर हैं, बम्बई के डिस्ट्रीब्यूटर हैं, राजस्थान है, सीपी है, सीआई है. So we have 14 distributors overseas हैं. And they used to release the films also with great passion. तो उनका पैसा लगा हुआ उसमें. तो वो भी अच्छी तरह से
They'll ensure a great release as well.
They publicize the film very well. पोस्टर्स रखते थे, 6 शीटर्स रखते थे, बैनर्स रखते थे.
तो पूरी दुनिया इतनी बदल गई, ये सारे स्टूडियोज आए. यू नेवर फेल्ट लाइक यू आर मूविंग इनटू दैट वर्ल्ड ऑफ द स्टूडियो सिस्टम वेयर समवन विल फंड योर फिल्म बिकॉज यू विल गेट फंडिंग from day one, right? Any studio would bankroll your film, but you just chose not to use that system at all.
No, because these distributors, they were telling me always, you don't leave us. We are depending on you. But it's no harm going to a studio. Now if I have to make a film, those distributors are not there anymore. Those days are over now.
Those days are over?
Yeah.
Right.
So because the budgets have become very big. So if I have to make a film today, I have to go to a studio. But what happens with a studio is that I feel a producer has to be a jack of all trades. He should know what music is. He should know what lyrics is. He should know what casting is. He should know what story is. He should know what screenplay is. He should know everything.
And he should know what the masses are. Right.
But today, the studios, younger generations who have come, they're not very experienced. See, they don't know what, they only know marketing. They don't know what a producer's job is. So it becomes difficult for us to talk to them, to make them understand the way we are doing. This is the way we should work. There should be emotions in the film. But they make a setup, they will finance a film where there is a safety for them first on the paper.
Right.
So everything is on the paper now.
Right.
If you are minus in the paper, the project will not go on floor. And we never used to have these things. We were minus right from the beginning. वो तो बन जाती थी अच्छी पिक्चर तो चल जाती थी तो प्लस में आ जाते थे.
Like if you were making Kaho Naa Pyaar Hai with a rank newcomer and shooting across the world, there's no way in hell the studio is going to bankroll this, right?
No, nobody would have.
And then we saw what happened.
Yeah.
We saw what happened, which had a name. We call it Hrithik Mania. You are personally responsible for it. You were obviously close right in the center of it. Rakesh, take us through that time briefly. What was that madness like? I remember one story of Hrithik's where he talks about how there were priests who came from a mutt. And they looked at him, a lot of them, they said, Bhagwan hai. The priest is saying, and then Hrithik started thinking, ki shayad मैं भगवान तो नहीं हूँ. And he went to a friend's house and boss, मैं भगवान तो नहीं हूँ. What is madness, right?
That was something magical about superstars, like अमित जी हैं, मैं few नाम लेता हूँ जो वैसे तो बहुत से हैं, दिलीप कुमार है या शाहरुख खान है या सलमान खान है या आमिर खान है या ऋतिक रोशन है या रणबीर कपूर है. They have something in them. There is something magnetic which they pull the audience. Now when Kaho Naa Pyaar Hai released, tell me, parents used to come to me कि हमारे 4 साल का बच्चा है, वो खाना ही नहीं खाता जब तक हम उनको कहो ना प्यारा नहीं दिखाएं. उसको क्या पता है ऋतिक रोशन कौन है उस 4 साल के बच्चे को. सो देयर इज समथिंग मैग्नेटिक which must be pulling them.
You either have it or you don't. You either have it or you don't.
You don't, yeah. So that's why these people, these actors, they become little higher than the normal actors are.
I mean, you watch a lot of stuff even now. You consume a lot of content even now. And, like I think Shah Rukh Khan said this, that he's the last of the superstars. Do you really think that superstardom as an idea is gonna die out because screens छोटे हो गए हैं, सब मोबाइल पे सब कुछ देख रहे हैं, या OTT पे देख रहे हैं? Do you really think that idea or the stardom that you said?
Their stardom has a lot of contribution of music. We remember them through some songs. कोई गाना चलता है तो शनि कपूर का गाना है, अरे ये रविंद्र कुमार का गाना, ये दिलीप कुमार का गाना, ये राज कपूर का गाना है, ये अमिताभ का गाना है. आज गाने खत्म हो गए हैं. गाने खत्म होने से उस सुपर स्टारडम जो है वो भी खत्म हो रहा है आस्ते आस्ते. एक होलसम फिल्म बनती थी पहले. there used to be songs, there used to be locations, there used to be romance, there used to be. आजकल नहीं बनते. आजकल रियल फिल्म्स बन रहे हैं, अच्छी फिल्में बन रही हैं. Good films are being made. But when you go to see a film, you go for entertainment. जब आप जिस घर में रह रहे हैं, जिस वातावरण में रह रहे हैं, वही वातावरण आप पिक्चर में देखने जा रहे हैं, तो you don't feel happy about it. You might feel कि आज पिक्चर अच्छी थी, but you never feel अरे यार कमाल, अच्छा ऐसा ये लोकेशन कहाँ है, ये तो कभी हमने देखा नहीं, अरे इतना अच्छा गाना है, क्या है, ये सब लोग भूल गए हैं. And South people are still on that platform. They're making such films what we used to make. And they're making in a bigger scale with very good VFX. So that's why they are succeeding.
But in your case, Rakesh ji, after you made Kaho Naa Pyaar Hai and you had a superstar at home and whose image you can mold, because you were the one who gave the first image in the first place, did that really liberate you? Because now you can do what the hell you want to. You can scale it up. You can make an alien film. You can make a superhero film. Is that what happened?
No, it was a very big burden on my shoulder. Okay, in the very first film, I showed both the aspects of an actor, a common man and a very stylish boy. So now what to make? And the other films, what he's doing with other filmmakers, he's also playing the same characters, the same kind of a role. So I said that star तो वो बन गया है, but stardom doesn't remain forever. But a good actor will always remain forever. And I knew Hrithik very well because being my son. So I said, इसको मेरे लिए idea came to me that let me make him a
man child.
Yeah. A very tough role to play. Because to play a child with children is very difficult because they are very natural. And for a hero to be that child with the children is very, very difficult. A lonely actor can do it. But when you compare it with the children, 5 children are with them, it is very, very difficult. So when I narrated the story to Hrithik, he agreed. And he said, yes, this will be very challenging for me, it will be very nice. And I knew that he would justify the character. And he knew that I will make the film the way I have explained to him.
Right, there's trust here.
Yes, there's trust there. And so we made the film. During making of the film, the one line started coming. He's a one wonder child, one movie wonder child. Wow.
Finished and all.
Yeah, yeah.
In the magazine covers.
Magazine covers and all that. But it didn't deter us. I told Hrithik, don't worry. This movie will do something fabulous for us. Because I had a belief that a, a boy who is underdeveloped, and if he gets powers, people are going to like it. It's like Karan Arjun. माँ का एक विश्वास है कि मेरे बेटे वापस आएंगे, वो कहीं से भी आते हैं, वो आएंगे, अगर आते हैं तो दैट इज सो वी हैव टू मेक द पीपल बिलीव. What is film making? Film making is what? Taking people to another world and make them believe that this can happen. If you see Avatar, what is it? It's the same story, but put in a different format. Emotions, good locations, which you have never seen. So, this is the magic of entertainment.
So, Koi Mil Gaya mein, did you need to mortgage your car or house again?
No. I had Kaho Naa Pyaar Hai behind me. So.
Right. And of course, I mean, after the success of Kaho Naa Pyaar Hai, there was the tragedy, and when I was watching the Roshans, I mean, I see you getting out of your office and getting into a car. Did you actually reenact that shootout episode that happened, the assassination attempt, as it were, that happened 2001 for you? Did you reenact it for the?
Yeah. That was not the office where I was shot. We shot it in this office. I had another office, so the shootout happened over there.
What was that like, Rakeshji? I mean,
I don't think I should talk about it because it reminds you of a very scary and a very not scary actually, a very bad taste. That in that time the industry was going through a very bad phase with this underworld people. Most of the producers, most of the actors connected with this underworld people. It was a very, very bad phase.
It's behind you now. That bad phase is behind you. What's the phase ahead for you, Rakeshji? I mean, it's been a while since you directed a film.
I know.
I think you've spoken about one film that you have in your mind, which is Hrithik Roshan doing triple roles. You love doing double roles and triple roles, and I love that about your movies. There's one that you had which is about Hrithik doing triple role.
I still have the story with me, but now we are mostly completed the work on Krrish.
Okay.
And I think we'll announce that film very soon. Maybe I won't be directing it. There's a reason behind it because I want to hand over the franchise to Hrithik so that Hrithik can continue making with other directors. And because I'm still there, I can guide them in whatever way I can. So मेरे होते हुए अगर मैं किसी को hand over करता हूँ, it's better than they taking over when I'm not there.
And of course, you will be on the set. I mean, I don't think you can ever keep yourself away from.
On the set, I'll be behind the project. But all the technical aspects and all that. Today, the children are very, very much ahead than me now.
Now it's AI also, not even children.
Yes.
The artificial intelligence is doing so much of the work that humans used to do.
It's good. It'll be easy.
And if you are on the set, of course, one thing that I've heard about you is the severity with which you say cut, at the end of a scene. And since this is the end of the conversation, I'd like you to say cut. And I want to hear it in the Rakesh Roshan style, Rakeshji.
Got it.
Got it. Thank you very much. This is amazing. Lovely meeting you.
Thank you.
Subscribe to Midday India. Get direct notifications on all our videos by clicking on the bell icon.